What's up, people? I'm eating, so it's a Daniel in the morning. And for those of you who don't know, and basically the only people who really know are maybe somebody who followed me on Twitter or the guys on on the podcast. And for whatever reason, the fucking shit didn't record right. So the latest podcast didn't go up, but still. So for those who give a damn, I got laid off Friday. I am getting on unemployment, so we'll be fine. The day I got laid off, a tree fell from my neighbor's yard, who I haven't seen in like 2.5, 3 years. So I don't know where the hell he is. Gotta track him down. Fell on my power line, pulled my box down, pulled the mast down, ripped everything out of my freaking box, tore everything up, nearly caught my house on fire. Cable box was completely ruined on the side of the house. All the cables were melted because the cable company didn't ground properly, and so when there was a short, it wasn't very powerful. There was a little bit of a spark where my mast broke from the outside box, the meter, that did a little bit of flash damage onto my siding, but the cable company's cables melted onto my siding, and goddamn nearly caught my house on fire. I was without power from that Friday afternoon, about 1:30 till yesterday at about 11:30. Cable company or power company came and finally hooked me up. I had to replace all the meter. I had to replace the wire going from the meter into the box inside my house. I replaced the actual meter box with a much better meter box. The electricity in my house, I used to get some flickering and some irregular power in my house. All that gone. So there is some benefits, glass 1/4 full, whatever the fuck. It's not half full, that's for sure. I had to run a new pole. I had to cut down a tree, broke my chainsaw. So I had to hand cut fucking limbs bigger than my head off because my mast is sitting much higher. Because the mast before was put there 20, 30 years ago, and regulations have changed. I live out of town, thank God, or I would have had to bury my line. That would have cost me something like $1,500, and I just got laid off. I ain't got $1,500. I don't got shit. Oh, Jesus Christ, man. I just spent $700 of money I didn't have. Ran up 2 of my credit cards. I lost all the food. I lost all my food. All my food in my fridge, in my freezer, both my freezer, my deep freeze and my freezer. It's been a bad fucking week. It's been a really fucking bad week. But on the plus side, got that fucking done. I got better electricity now. I feel a little bit safer. My mast is up. I got tree limbs cleared off. I still got his fucked up tree looming over my house. And what I'm gonna have to do is, the last company I went to wouldn't insure my house. I'm gonna have to go to another company, see if I can get my house insured, because nobody wants to insure my house. Because I don't have receipts on when my roof was replaced. Fucking matter, I don't have a slump to my roof. They came and looked at my roof and they were asking for the receipts, and it's been At the time, it had only been 8 years since the roof had been replaced. And they're like, well, if you can give us receipts, and I'm like, look, man, the church came over for the person who owned it before and put her new roof on. So anyways, I'll call it Farm Bureau. See, I'll have to switch off my car insurance, but because I don't know, man, and I can't find him. Hopefully I'll see him sometime around hunting season. That'll be next month. My lawnmower broke. So my yard's growing up. I got to get that fixed. It's just that trashed it. Pick up my trash. I tell you what, man, when it fucking rains, it pours. There's some mad cats out there. I have to go out there and whoop some ass. That's what I'm going to have to do. Let me honk this horn. Get them to stop fighting. Hey! Cut that shit out. These cats think they can fight my cat. I'm like, I won't put up with that. I'll chase you the fuck off the land. You won't get no food. So anyways, enough about my dumb shit. I want to talk a little bit about, I was watching Podcast Unlocked, and something wrong with my cat's eye? I wonder if he got hit. Not by a car, but like by maybe got scratched. Got her eye like peeled closed. She might have got poked in the eye or something. They live outside. You never know. Anyways, I was watching Podcast Unlocked, and they were talking about the Xbox event that'll probably be coming up within the next 4 weeks. Nobody knows when. They think it won't be this coming week because it already be announced. But it wouldn't surprise me at all if they did it just fucking, all right, tomorrow we're having the podcast, the event. I have the dumbest dog. When I drive up, I know it has nothing to do. She'll pee on the sidewalk leading up to my back door. Because she guards my back door from people getting into my house. So anyways, went right back and came out, peed on the sidewalk, went right back into her doghouse. Anyways, they were talking about the timing, and it wouldn't surprise me if they just announced it like a couple days in advance. Hey, it's gonna happen on the 13th or whatever. It wouldn't surprise me at all. Let's see. I might have to go out there and break up that cat fight. They're really going at it. They're not fighting right now, but they're really going at it. I think it wouldn't surprise me if it was announced in a day, but they were talking about price. The rumors came out about $400, $200. I don't know about the $400 price, but a lot of people have been saying $500 and $300 for a long time. Dealer, Colt, a lot of these guys have been saying $300, and that makes no fucking sense in my goddamn brain. No fuck sense in my brain. The SSD is not an expensive SSD. It's the controller is more 3.0 than 4.0. The speeds required. 1 second. Let me whoop some. Hey! The fuck out of here. Fucking with my cat. Must be lost its damn mind. I'll give it the boot. It was right next to my car. Trying to fuck my cat up. Can't be having that shit. Anyways, even my dogs were like, motherfucker, only we are allowed to fuck that cat up. So anyways, it always blown my mind that Dealer and Colt and all those guys thought it was going to be $300. It made no fucking sense. 4 teraflops, that's a third of the required CUs. And that's assuming they run at the same clock speed. You might go a little bit more CUs, run at a lower clock speed. That'll allow them to, that'll make it even cheaper. Because you won't have to have the same quality, because you won't need to run at the same speed. The CPU is going to be the same. That's all right. We're going with less RAM. That takes a lot of cost out of it. Probably less RAM amount per stick. That takes even more cost out of it. No drive. That takes cost out of it. It's going to be a different. It's going to probably be a monolithic board, a single board instead of the two boards. There's going to be no daughter board. It's going to be cooler, easier to cool, less expensive cooling system. Case will be smaller. They show the little white box, but someone said that they think it's probably going to be more console looking, and that wouldn't surprise me at all. It's going to just be cheaper. Every single bit of it, except for the CPUs and the SSD, is going to be cheaper by a significant margin. And it makes 0 sense to me in my brain where the idea that's going to cost $300. If it's $300 to make a profit off of it, I'm thinking $250 max. If they can get it down to $200, they really bite into Sony's market share. I think that would be a genius, no matter where it's placed. The One X. If the One X is $400 or $500, it should still be $200. If it's $600, it should still be $200. If it's $400, it should definitely be $200. And if you're half the price of your competitor, and a lot of people are fine with 1080p gaming, 1080p 60 gaming, you can really bite into the market share. I think that would be really smart of Microsoft, no matter what they do with the One X. I think they should aim for $200 if they want to cut into the market share. Because a lot of people, I'm picking one up for my wife for the office, so we'll trade in her Xbox One S for the Series S, assuming that's the name of it. So, anyways, that's my thoughts on that subject. I know that was that long. Sorry about the cat fight. What else? Talking about Last of Us. I've seen a lot of different views. I don't know how many people know. I don't even remember if I even talked about my view. I watched a lot of the spoilers. I didn't believe a lot of this other fucking spoilers. A lot of people just throwing shit in just to throw shit in. And I think the developers got way too fucking deep into that shit. They were like looking at all the fucking shit. Oh, these people got this wrong. These people got... Who gives a fuck? And they get angry about this, about these leaks. They were it made them look really bad. DCMAing all these people made them look bad, in my opinion. Neil Druckmann looked bad. But for people, fans of the serve for the game, and I've watched a lot of opinions, and I'm not plus or minus anything, but I could completely 100% understand why people were upset about how they did things. And after the first game, and they just kind of... I watched the ending, and I know some people have some different opinions of the ending. It was just like, it felt like the kind of shit, you know, where you just fucking... You're spent. Why did you even fucking do it? Why did you go? What should have happened at the end is she should never have pulled out the knife. They should have just fisticuffed, beat the fuck out of each other, both laying on the ground. And it should have ended with fuck it. Right? It kind of ended with fuck it anyways. But you had all kinds of dumb shit. The thing I liked the most about the ending is she went and did something stupid. And Ellie did a total dude thing. Ellie goes and leaves and be like, look, I gotta get this shit. I gotta do this shit. And her girl is like, look, you don't do this. You can't do this. And Ellie goes and takes off. And when she comes back, gone. Comes home. Comes to an empty home. I thought that was nicely done. Of all the shit they fucked up in the game, I thought the ending, the very ending, was well done. I thought that very end of the ending was perfect. I thought the whole fight, the last fight, there was some unnecessary shit in the last fight. But you get to the point, you come and you find your enemy that you came to kill. And that enemy is strung up, essentially crucified. You know, not because that they were on the block to be sold, from what I understand. Because I didn't go through every single moment of the game. I'm not that interested. They're tied up, and you cut them down, and at the end, you should have just been like, look, we gotta throw hands. Like, I can't just walk away. I'm gonna have to throw hands at you. Look, we're gonna have to get this done. And I thought that's kind of what happened, right? Like, look, I came here to fuck you up. Now, I feel real bad, but it was just a fucking, I don't know. This is kind of weird. The end of it. But I understand. I think the whole thing kind of is ruined for a lot of people is how they did Joel. Not that Joel dies, but how they killed him, when they killed him. I think it had an impact, but it had like a negative impact, right? A lot of people felt the pacing was bad. I can't say whether it was or not, but that leaves a poor taste in my mouth. Because I'm listening to these guys who love the series, right? And they love Joel. Not a lot of them are not mad that Joel's dead. They're mad at how they killed him off. Not specifically the way they killed him off, but how they killed him off. What led up to him dying, just not in character. A lot of these people are saying he's totally out of character. And what can you say? I gotta clean off the side of my house. I got a lot of stuff on the side of the house I need to clean off. Anyways, that's that for The Last of Us 2. I don't hate it. I make fun of people who try to defend it, though. I think it's hilarious. They get really upset about people's views on the game. Trying to think of anything else. Oh, Mixer getting shut down. I think they were shutting it down anyways, but they were gonna do it over the period of a year or whatever. Maybe shut it down at the end of the year. But all this shit started happening. They were like, you know what? Fuck that. We ain't got time for people acting fools in the fucking in the offices. Just giving us a bad name, making us look bad. So they just shut that shit down. It kind of pisses me off. Because the way I look at Mixer is they had a lead. They had a technological lead. And they were doing shit that Twitch wasn't doing. Multi-streaming, where you stream with other friends. They were much less lag time between. So when people would type to you, you were responding to them in seconds, like within a second or less in some cases. Versus Twitch, which was like 20, 30 seconds. It was just really a better service for the very point of streaming. And Microsoft threw them a whole lot of money. They gave them a whole lot of rope, a whole lot of money, and the people over Mixer and the people in Mixer hung themselves with it. And they were given all the opportunities in the world. Microsoft signed some of the biggest names in streaming, and instead of taking the lead they had in certain area, right, and expanding on them and making themselves better, they dropped the fucking ball multiple times. They dropped the ball. And I don't know who to blame is, but I know that whoever was in charge of Mixer has some stink on them. So they really fucked it up. They dropped the fucking ball. And that's really too bad. Because it was a good service. And it was a good service. And they should have done better. And they let it stagnate. They really let it stagnate. And they should have been innovating. Constantly innovating. Constantly bringing new stuff in. If it didn't work, toss it out. Bring new stuff in. Bring new stuff in. Try something new. Try this. Try that. Instead, they stagnated. They weren't iterating enough. They weren't doing shit. Mixer wasn't changing. It found a groove, and it just stuck there. And whoever was in charge, you disappointed. You know, we just lost a competitor in the streaming market. And however you think of Mixer, that is bad. And I hope somebody can step up. I'll check out Facebook streaming, but I've been trying to stream to Facebook for a while. So I streamed to multiple platforms when I was doing my podcast on my computer, but it just wouldn't work. Facebook wouldn't work. So anyways, I'm out of here. Oh, here's another thing. They made it harder to stream on the fucking platform. What the fuck? We won't go into that. Peace out, people.